Good morning, everyone. My name is Deirdre O'Rourke, and I'm from Awakenings Hypnotherapy and Coaching. And welcome you here on this beautiful morning. And we'll have a look at ways of building up your self-worth and finding your personal power. Self-worth is so valuable to us. It involves all our self-esteem, our self-confidence, and just really who we are, and loving ourselves and recognising who we are. This is a module from my programme Pillars to Personal Empowerment, which looks at all the areas that will build up the best version of yourself. Basically, we look at motivation, we look at self-worth, we look at your inner resources, your strengths, your skills, and all the ways that just help you to become the best version of yourself and to do things best for yourself and to put yourself out there on the map. So we get lost in ourselves. So today it's self-worth we'll have a look at, and how to build up our personal power. Now, self-worth is kind of one of those phrases that's coined, and often people don't actually recognise what it is. It is an internal state being that comes from self-understanding, self-love and self-acceptance. It's a direct measure of how you value and regard yourself, in spite of what others may say or do, so it doesn't change easily when external factors or circumstances change. Having a high degree of self-worth means feeling worthy of good things, feeling deserving of happiness, health, wealth, success and love, irrespective of the difficulties you face, the disappointments you experience, or of people's opinions. It means accepting yourself wholeheartedly, despite your flaws, your weaknesses, your limitations. It's about recognising the real value of who you are at this present moment. It means nothing outside of you being influenced how you feel about yourself, because you alone are the most significant factor in how you feel about yourself, about your life, about your circumstances, and that's essentially where your personal power comes. So we'll have a discussion on self-worth and personal power, and then we'll finish up with a hypnosis session on confidence as an integral part of self-worth. And we all need to look at our confidence to build ourselves and realise why we're worthy. So if for anyone that has never done a hypnotherapy session before, what is hypnosis and hypnotherapy? Hypnosis itself is just a state of awareness where you're open to ideas that are right for you. Hypnosis doesn't control your mind, it works with your mind. So any improvements you notice are ones that are good for you. You could also think of a hypnotherapy session as a meditation or a creative visualization or relaxation with affirmations. So we relax about how we're doing hypnotic work in a very unique, and it's a very unique experience. And when we are doing it, you may find yourself relaxing lightly or deeply paying attention, or maybe drifting off, having a very different or very normal experience, all considered with making positive subconscious changes while we are doing it. So how does one build their self-worth? We need to create enough self-worth to empower our daily decisions and actions in a way that would help us achieve our desired outcomes. So this is something you must consistently work on, and the only way you will build anything of real value. So I'll look at a 5-step process to help you build this self-worth long-term and ultimately find your personal power. So step 1, I would call the self-understanding stage. This would involve getting to know yourself at a more deeper and more profound level. And we get there by asking ourselves questions, probing questions. What if everything I have was suddenly taken away from me? What if all I had left was just myself? How would that make me feel? What would I actually have that would be of value to me? So if everything was pared down, what would be left? How you feel about yourself after everything has been taken away is essentially the measure of your self-worth. If you have a high level of self-worth, this won't change who you are as a person. You don't measure your value in external circumstances. Instead, your value comes from within. So then we can look at some questions to help you understand your true value. Who am I? How am I? How am I in the world? How do others see me? How do others speak about me? What key life moments define who I am today? What brings me the most passion, fulfillment and joy? And while we're doing so, we also must look at our weaknesses and our struggles. Ask ourselves questions like, where do I struggle most? Where do I need to improve? What fears often hold me back? What habitual emotions hurt me? What mistakes do I tend to make? Where do I tend to consistently let myself down? And then we look at our strengths. What abilities do I have? What am I really good at? Your strengths are the things that help build your self-confidence. They are the things that allow you to move forward with greater self-assurance. However, true strengths are only strengths by your own measure. If you rely on other people to tell you whether or not you're good at something, then that's not a true strength that extends from a sense of your personal power. We move from there into step 2, which we would call the self-acceptance stage. To build genuine self-worth, we must be real and authentic with ourselves at all times. Forgive yourself for everything you've done in the past and accept yourself unconditionally without judgment or excuses. This is you. This is who you are. Accept that by acknowledging, by making an affirmation, I fully accept every part of myself, including my flaws, fears, behaviours and qualities I might not be too proud of. This is who I am, and I am at peace with myself. Fully accepting yourself, in spite of all your flaws, weaknesses and limitations, is absolutely critical for developing a high level of self-worth. We move from there on to step 3, which we would call the self-love stage. Having fully accepted yourself, it is now time to acknowledge your true value. To do this, you need to practice self-love, which means treating yourself with kindness, tolerance, generosity and compassion. Compassion comes from self-acceptance, which stems from self-understanding. Get in the habit of speaking to yourself in a positive and supportive way. Little affirmations to yourself like, I feel valued and special. I love myself wholeheartedly. I'm a worthy and capable person. Talking to yourself in this way brings your focus and attention to the beauty hidden within yourself. You're no longer looking at outside circumstances or people for approval or acknowledgement. Instead, you are searching for that approval within yourself. And that's one of the biggest steps you can take towards building your self-worth. We move to step 4 then, the recognition stage. When you have self-understanding, when you have fully accepted yourself, and when you reach a stage where you practice self-love and self-compassion, that's when people, events and circumstances no longer define you. You instead begin to define yourself. It's helpful to hopefully acknowledge and recognise that you no longer need to please other people. You therefore hold the power to respond to events and circumstances of your life based on your internal sources, on your resources and on your resourcefulness, which are all a reflection of your true value. And it's important to recognise your true value, regardless of your earnings, career, possessions, social rank, relationship, status, etc. Your true value is no longer measured by these things. It rather comes from an internal measure that you set for yourself. And that's where your true personal power comes from. And then we finally move to the step 5, which we call the responsibility stage. And this final step involves you taking full responsibility for your life, for your circumstances and for your problems. To take responsibility means to acknowledge that you have the personal power to change and influence the events and circumstances of your life. And just to conclude on that and to wind up what we've been looking at, when you have a high level of self-worth, you're no longer relying on other people to make decisions for you. You alone hold yourself accountable, and you alone hold the power to make positive changes in your life. There is no more complaining, judging, blaming, excuses. You now hold the power. You hold this power because you fully trust yourself and trust your ability to make decisions that put you in the driver's seat of your life. You're not rattled or fazed by external circumstances. Yes, the outside world is a crazy mess. However, your inner world is as steady as can be. And that's what makes all the difference. It's what eventually brings your ship back to the safety of the harbour. And it's all because you took the time to build your self-worth. Okay, so plenty for you to think about today. And now we'll have some time for you. And we'll have a nice relaxing hypnotherapy session. So, I'd like you to find a comfortable place to sit, feet on the ground, and relax. Make sure you will not be disturbed, and take this little bit of time for yourself today. You deserve it. And as you close your eyes, you will begin to notice some changes taking place around you. The awareness. The first thing you'll notice is your attention is drawn towards your breathing, and your breathing begins to relax. The next thing you'll notice is you develop the need to swallow as all the muscles around your teeth, your gums and throat relax. And then soon you will begin to feel a comfortable feeling of heaviness develop in your eyes as all the muscles around your eyes begin to feel tired and heavy. So tired and heavy that soon they just want to close down and rest in the gentle, soothing darkness. So imagine that the air in the room around you is full of perfect relaxation, and that you are breathing in this perfect relaxation through your fingers. Yes, just imagine that you're really breathing in perfect relaxation through your fingers. That's right. And imagine also that you're exhaling through your toes. That's right. Breathing in through your fingers and breathing out through your toes. Imagine that each breath is travelling right through your body, and the perfect relaxation that is carried on each breath you breathe is flowing deep into every muscle, cell and fibre of your body and mind, deeply and easily. Any tension this perfect relaxation should encounter is being pushed out and replaced with a deep sense of comfort and perfect relaxation, so that as you breathe out, you exhale tension and stress out through your toes, and each breath you breathe in through your fingers carries with it this perfect relaxation travelling right through your body and mind. And I wonder if you've noticed just how relaxed your breathing has become. It feels so good to just breathe easy and to just let go. To let go of all that old used up air. And I wonder, have you noticed the way your chest sinks down as you exhale? Now sink down into that feeling, sink down and just let go and go deeper into this experience. Imagine, if you will, that you're standing in a garden which symbolises your life, the garden of your life. And you are standing there in the garden of your life, looking around and marvelling at the beauties of all the trees and the flowers and grass in the garden of your life. Feel the warmth of the autumn sun shining down on you, the soft gentle breeze and the heady perfume of your favourite flowers. Notice any shrubs or bushes or other plants, perhaps an ivy covered archway or one covered in jasmine or honeysuckle. Perhaps you can hear the birds up there in the trees whistling their tune to each other. Imagine it, experience it now. Notice the gate that leads out of your garden and onto the street beyond. You can be happy here in the garden of your life. And notice here and there the dried up leaves that are scattered around on the garden of your life. Some of those leaves are yellow, some are orange, some are red. In some places the leaves cover the ground almost like a thick carpet, and other areas are more sparse. Now, how those dried up, crumbled leaves appear symbolic of all the hurts and frustrations of your life. These crumpled, dried up leaves symbolize all the negative conditions from your past and from your present. They represent uncomfortable feelings of inadequacy, not being good enough, feelings of inferiority, or maybe even embarrassment. Those leaves around you represent all rebutals, all refusals, all resentments, all negative statements about yourself, whether made by yourself, for yourself, or by others and directed at you. All those negative statements that have affected you at any time in your life are all here in the garden of your life. Now look over there and see a rake, its long wooden handle. The rake is propped up by a wall, and I want you to take that rake and gather together all those dried and crumpled up leaves into a heap, ready to set fire to them. And you could give names to some of those dried and crumpled up leaves. Some of the names might represent disagreeable people or offence in your life. Some may represent subconscious wishes for failure. There may be dislikes for some people in your life, procrastination or past negative conditioning. Some may represent laziness or apathy, lack of communication, or any spite or hatred or hurt that is held by you for anyone or held by anyone for you. All those negative feelings are scattered on the ground, and as you rake them into one big pile ready for that fire, just gather them there together. And whatever negative symbols those leaves mean to you, we are going to burn them out of your life forever. So when the pile is ready, I want you to set fire to those leaves. Just enjoy the destruction of all those negativities from your life. And as you do so, enjoy the feeling of freedom, the feeling of being rid of all those negative influences. And as you watch the flames leap up into the air, you can actually feel all those negative influences from the past leaving you, totally and completely being burnt out of your life. It is as though all those negative influences from the past are going up in flames and smoke. And if you look up there, you will see that thick black smoke going higher and higher. The tail end of the smoke becomes thinner until it disperses and leaves your life forever. And suddenly you are free. You are free from all past negative influences, all self-defeating beliefs, all those things that held you back in life. You are free now to progress, to advance, to achieve whatever goals you set out for yourself. You are free, and it's a wonderful feeling to be free. You feel much more confident, much more self-assured, much more comfortable with yourself. All past negative influences have departed from your existence, and it's as though you can really begin to live again, to make a fresh start, a healthy, positive new beginning, and continuing to live a fulfilling life, doing not only the things that you have to do every day, but also the confidence to do what you really want to do. And I want you to experience now a beautiful violet stream of light pouring down from the blue sky like a laser beam into the crown of your head. And the violet light symbolises purity of thought, because now you experience only positive thoughts and feelings as far as is humanly possible. Feel the light entering your brain and streaming down into the spinal column and out to every nerve, every cell, every fibre, every consciousness of your being. And the purity of thought and feeling touches every nerve and cell and consciousness of your being, filling you with a new healthy energy, a strong and positive energy, and you feel yourself filled with a loving acceptance of the wonderful human being that you are. And as you accept the wonderful person that you are, you find that you begin to feel differently about yourself. You feel so much more calmer deep inside, so much more relaxed, so much more confident, and every cell in your body is bathed in love and acceptance in a beautiful violet light, and your feelings are changing on a cellular level, even altering the chemistry of your body in a positive way. Just feel it. Autumn and winter have passed, and it is now outside a warm spring sunshiny day. Out of the garden of your life, you have swept away all those negative thoughts and beliefs that you once held about yourself. And according to the laws of nature, we have to replenish what we take away. So I want you to see yourself now with a handful of special seeds. There is an area in your garden where you instinctively know that these seeds are needed to grow. The soil is already rich and fertile and ready to take those seeds. So very carefully, I want you to tenderly plant those seeds in your garden with loving care. Sprinkle over the seeds with the soft, fine earth. Shower the air lightly with fresh water to make it moist. And then just leave the rest to nature. And as time goes by, your seeds grow and grow and grow, stronger and healthier. Even while they are growing onto the earth, you won't see the shoots until they begin to peep out of the soil. But you will know that those little seeds have germinated and are sprouting up. You will know because your feelings will tell you so. You always listen carefully now to your feelings, to your inner self, that wonderful, calm, wise and confident self, feeling that inner acceptance, loving yourself and who you are in a calm and peaceful sort of way. So when you're ready, I'm going to ask you to count yourself up from 1 to 5. All of these thoughts will go deep into your mind and will be able to help you whenever you need them. All you have to do is recall them and visualize yourself brimming with confidence and loving yourself. Allow these thoughts to go deep, deep into your mind, into the recesses, into your inner being, deep, deep down into your mind, and rest there until such time you need them. And so as we count down from 1 to 5, 1, your mind and body are perfectly in tune together. 2, you are now beginning to alert yourself. 3, you're now becoming more and more alert. 4, you're more aware of everything going on around you. And 5, you can open your eyes, you are awake, you're ready to start loving yourself and feeling confidence and enjoy life to the full. You can become aware of the external world and know deep inside you that these seeds are already beginning to grow for you. I hope everybody's feeling okay and nice and relaxed and can take those thoughts away with you on this beautiful Sunday. And look after yourself and all your inner being and building yourself up, because you are important. So enjoy your day, everybody, and thank you for listening to me this morning.